This is Connor Riley with Coastal Pacific Contracting. We are at 4756 East Mountain View Drive in San Diego. I'm doing a sewer inspection on this house, and I accessed a line from a 2-inch clean out underneath the kitchen on the east side of the property. It is ABS pipe all the way through until it exits the property line, and so it'll go west underneath the kitchen and towards the bathrooms, then it'll 90-degree south and turn into a 4-inch line where it goes towards the garage studio area, and then it'll make another turn and it follows the back of the properties going west. So there must be some sort of easement for it. This is as far as I can go. It's underneath a big Norfolk pine at the edge of the parking lot and the neighbor to the west a couple doors. I'll be pulling it back. This whole line is underwater, and I am going to try to access it through his property. There's a couple cleanouts over there that I will try to access once I'm done pulling this out. But as I pull this out, you'll see there's a ton of standing water in here. This is all cast iron. Not able to really see anything with all this water in here. You can kind of see right there, there was a bunch of toilet paper built up. As I pull it back, you might get a couple glimpses of the pipe. Oh, here we go. So here, for the next 30 feet at least, there's a bunch of water in the cast iron here. And there's quite a bit of buildup there. Let me see if I can't turn this around on the screen. It's not working. But at 100 feet, it looked like this whole thing was underwater. I may have pushed a clog through when I pushed the camera through, so that's good. But I'm not seeing any other. There is a tie-in right there, so I'm guessing the neighbor ties in to this line as well, and hopefully those cleanouts will be accessible to the rest of this line. Standing water. That's right where it turns. And then coming back here, this amount of standing water here is underneath the garage studio area. Like it's settled a bit, so it does transition from cast iron to ABS there. It's probably at the southwest corner of the property before it turns into cast iron and goes across to the west. And then pulling back right here, you'll see the pipe is smashed right there. That's about 1.5 feet down. There are 4 pavers in front of the shower, the outdoor shower, and it's between the first and second one from the left hand side. So that needs to be dug up and replaced, and I would highly recommend adding a 2-way clean out there at the at that time. The rest of the line, except for a small little section of cast iron right here, this is probably going through the foundation. They didn't want to dig that out. So the rest of that is ABS. So there's a little bit of a lip there, but it doesn't seem to be obstructing it too bad. Just underneath the kitchen. I'll be coming out the clean out, and then I'll try to get another video from the neighboring properties clean out, and hopefully those tie in. Okay, it does appear that the sewer line is connected to the neighbor to the west and continues out to the street on Cherokee. The neighbor here at 4739 Cherokee stated that 15 years ago these cleanouts were put in because there were some sewer issues, and there hasn't been any issues since then, but that's why these cleanouts are here. And I'm going to pull it back from here. Where's the cast iron? A little bit of standing water. I would recommend using a lot more water than you would think, just to help get everything out and down the line. Water on the bottom. The head on this camera isn't that big, so it's not like this whole thing is full of water. So ideally, we wouldn't see any water at all. And then there is a sweep or a clean out that goes out to the street that I'm going to go out as well here in just a minute. Once I get this pulled all the way back. There is quite a bit of scale and buildup in there. I'd highly suggest hydrojetting and potentially descaling the line before doing anything, before doing any other repairs. I think those are going to help get a lot of this out of there and help with the flow. And doing that other repair underneath the outdoor shower area. So this is where the cleanouts are, and then I'm going to go out towards the street right now. We'll go back into cast iron. There's some roots and some damage there. Let's see if I can't get through it. This is clay pipe. There's a couple little cracks in the pipe. And a little offset there. You can see the pipe has kind of gotten a little bit broken and smashed. It's not quite circular. You probably need to get this lined, not immediately, but down the road. So there's another crack there, and this is out underneath the street, so this isn't really a candidate for something to dig up. So that is the city main right there. And it looks like there's a little offset right there. Might be some roots causing that to kind of block up right there. So I would suggest jetting the entire line and lining this clay portion. It doesn't need to happen right away, but something that you should be aware of. So that concludes our video. I'll send a link via YouTube and a link to the report.